This is the Pilot's News Briefing Podcast. I'm Frank Daniels. With me today is Emilee Phillips from the Pilot's Newsroom, bringing us the latest news in Moore County. What are we talking about today?
Well, I don't have a ton right now, but in exciting news, the Moore County Farmers Market, which is year-round on Thursdays, has reopened for the season on Saturdays as well in Downtown Park in Southern Pines. So now you can catch some local farmers and vendors on both Thursdays and Saturdays now. I believe it's 9 a.m. to noon. Or maybe 8 a.m. to noon.
I think it's early. I think 8 sounds right.
Yeah. So you can catch them there.
Do they always have the same vendors, do you know?
There's a lot of frequent flyers. I don't think every single market is all the same. And then I think some gravitate toward Thursdays. I think it just depends, but I think I would say there's a good few that are at every single one. Yeah.
I guess I'll go ahead and tease a story that I'm chasing down, which is that Mandy Davis, who was the director of Sandhills Farm to Table, sent me a message yesterday and told me that the CV Pilsen Farm is going to have, or maybe they already do, but a kind of a farm box option that is similar to what Sandhills Farm to Table did. So
yeah, I think that's awesome. It's neat to see how many people in the area seek out those options. So looking forward to reading it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I can get it together soon. I will definitely bring that here, though, and we tell everybody a little bit more about it. Mandy said that she has had a lot of people reach out to her about something, alternate options, and so she was hoping that I could share this. But I'll find out more. And I also thought I would talk about the not Sandhills, but the North Carolina Tri-Share Child Care Week, which is happening right now.
Yeah.
It's all week from Monday to Friday. It is a kind of outreach effort by the state, the partnership for the North Carolina Partnership for Children, which is the organization that manages Smart Start, or that kind of is the organization that oversees the Smart Start network, is probably the better way to say that. And Smart Start is a early childhood education program that any child under ahead of kindergarten can go to learn more about learning, I guess, to learn and be prepared for introduction into the public school system at kindergarten.
So like the 3-4 age range?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, even earlier as well. Actually, kind of one of the reasons why NC Tri-Share, which I'll get to in a second, exists is because it's almost more important to begin education efforts, and that could look like anything. Like reading to your kids is actually one of the biggest things that you can do to prepare them and to begin the learning process. But doing that even at as young as 6 months, it's really, really important to get them exposed to books and to reading and to start to try and sound out words and stuff before they're 3. Yeah. 3 is actually kind of it's still good to do early on, but once you get to that 3 age, it's really it kind of is the learning slows down. Okay. And then they say like you learn to read up until 3rd grade, so that's a little bit older. That's like 8, I think.
Yeah.
And then after third grade is when you start to like read to learn.
Right.
So learn to read and then read to learn.
Yeah.
But that's not really early childhood education anymore. But what NC TriShare is a program that is a partnership between the state, an employer, and an employee to help pay for childcare.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it's a even three-way split that the state has allocated $1.8 million over 2 years once they allocated those funds last year. But the reason why I brought up Partnership for Children and their Smart Start network is because they were tasked with finding 3 organizations to pilot the program, the NC TriShare program, and Partners for Children and Families of Moore County was one of those organizations.
Okay.
And this week is the kind of outreach week, and there's a class, or not a class, but an event that all businesses are invited to attend to. It is on Thursday at 10, but that's down in Fayetteville, actually, at the Partnership for Children of Cumberland County, and that's at 351 Wagoner Drive, actually. But it's a three-way split, so eligible employees pay only a third of the child care cost, the employers pay a third, and the state pays a third.
Yeah. And so long term, what does that kind of look like for, I guess, its impact?
You mean the impact of child care in general, or?
I guess that, and then also, yeah. Well, because I know there's already a shortage.
So
across the board, there
definitely is, and so it could open up the potential for more childcare options.
Yeah.
This isn't something that I've really looked into, but Stuart Mills, who's the executive director of the Partnership for Children, or the Partners for Children and Families, and Linda Parsons, who is also the executive director of or the president and CEO of Moore County Chamber of Commerce. The two of them are kind of leaders of this child care task force that has a lot of people involved in the county at the county level. They've spoken about bringing in an organization that kind of partners with employers to create kind of mobile child care centers. So it's possible, and no real work has been done to find out, or there's not been really any movement on making this happen, but there's a possibility for employers who are interested to partner with this organization, bring a mobile child care center in, and also lessen the cost of child care associated with that.
That's a big deal.
So that could be something. Again, that's not really, nobody's really planning to do that at this point, but that's a possibility.
But that would, I mean, just having the available option, I think would be a huge draw for employers in attracting employees and
exactly.
I mean, people living here. Aside from the child care itself, that has a lot of a big ripple effect.
Yeah, it could really, one of the advantages that they see, like Linda in particular, Linda Parsons said that she sees a huge advantage in promoting the program because it could draw a stable workforce for employees if they can demonstrate these kind of high level benefits, employee benefits, because they are covering part of the child care. It can really help draw a huge, like a top tier workforce. And that's kind of a huge economic development issue in the state. Governor Stein actually announced a child care task force at the state level just last week, and so it coincides. I don't know if it was planned or what, but
it just shows. I mean, it's something on everyone's minds. So
yeah, the North Carolina Chamber of Commerce commissioned a study, I guess is the best way to say it, but they released a study last year. I think it was early last year, called the oh man, I didn't write down the name of it, but basically it was a study of the impacts of childcare availability or lack of childcare availability on the economic or the economic impact of that. And it found that statewide there's a lost economic impact of $5.6 billion directly due to childcare. Wow. Two of those things are, I point out in the story, workforce turnover from, people, employees not being able to stay at a business because they couldn't find childcare or their child couldn't stay, whatever reason. That was $2.68 billion estimated loss to employers across the state, and then another $1.61 billion directly related to absenteeism due to childcare issues. So, like if somebody had to take off work because their child couldn't be in childcare for that day. So, I mean, those are just huge numbers. Yeah. I mean, granted, that's across the state, but still.
Yeah.
And it's like you mentioned earlier about the cost of childcare, and that's a big thing too. And that's directly meant to help with that. But the last number I'll bring is the National Database for Childcare Prices has Moore County's average. This is, of course, just an average price of childcare, annual price at $10,887. And that's a ton. It's 15% of the median household income.
Yeah, and that's the average. So,
right.
What are
yeah.
What's the what makes you wonder what the cap on that is?
Yeah. So again, there's an event. Of course, if any employers are interested in learning more, Stuart Mills would be happy to talk to them about it. And I think it's PFC, Partners for Children and Families, PFCFMC.org, or if you search Partners for Children and Families, you can find his contact. But Stuart Mills will talk to any employers, or certainly at the event on Thursday in Fayetteville. There's information, and there's a virtual link to that too.
Awesome.
So thanks for joining me here. And if you have feedback for us, please send the emiles to us. You can ask Emilee questions about things by sending her an email to Emilee@thepilot.com, Emilee at thepilot.com. You can send me feedback and questions to Frank@thepilot.com. And that's the latest news in Moore County.
Bye, guys.